Hello everyone and welcome to the Bedtime Chronicles with Charlotte Craig. And today the theme of the podcast is who decided why things are what they are. Something that's been going on in my mind recently whilst I've been in bed. Why are things what they are? And who decided that things are what they are? Because we all just seem to go along with it and then just be like, yeah, this is normal. When actually, looking at it at a deeper level, it's not that normal. It really isn't. So we're going to do the podcast a bit different today. We are going to start with what's in the box because you guys have written in different scenarios that are just downright weird, but we consider to be normal. And rather than me just reacting and talking about it, I'm going to Google it because I actually want to know the reason behind the different things that you have sent in. I won't give anything away just yet, but there are some funny ones. So let's have a look in the box. Got to change things up a bit every now and again. Do you know what I mean? We want to keep things fresh. So yeah, starting with what's in the box today. I saw this thing recently, actually, just off topic before we get into it, that running was only invented in 1879. And I find that hilarious. Like, I saw a sketch of somebody nicking some money off someone and then just walked after them and the other person was just walking. And it's like, yeah, like the first person must have been like, oh my God, I can move faster than this. And then, yeah, that's how running was invented, apparently. So yeah, there's something for you. Fact of the day. Something that you'll be able to sleep better tonight knowing that fact. And all the rest of these facts that are going to come out. Okay, let's go. And we're going to Google them and find out the answer. Singing. Who decided to make weird noises with their mouth and then class it as entertainment? Very true. I think I know this one. I'm going to go with what I think first and then we'll Google it. So I think it's like it used to be like a ritual thing. Like, I think the first people to sing were like our ancestors and like tribes and stuff. I'm so sweaty, sorry if you're watching this. Just gotta get that off. Yeah, I think we were like in tribes and stuff, and then we used to communicate by singing. So we were like, hey Gary, how are you? Probably not like that. It was probably a lot better than that, and we probably didn't use the name Gary back in them days, but here we are. You just never know. Maybe we were all called Gary at one point in our lives. Right, so who created singing? Let's have a look, shall we? This is the first thing that's come up on Google. By studying fossils, what's that got to do with singing? We can establish that once our ancestors, there you go, had the horseshoe-shaped hyoid bone in the throat in a similar position to modern humans, they would have had a physical ability to sing as we can. What's that got to do with singing? Okay, anyway, I don't know what that was. Sorry, I just wasted your time. This is the next thing that's come up. No historical evidence exists to tell us exactly who sang the first song or whistled the first tune. Whistling's weird, isn't it? Like, how can we hold a tune by whistling? Like, don't know why I'm singing a Christmas song. I'm a good whistler. That's it. New career. My new career is now whistling. Professional whistler. God, I can't talk. I was the first tune. I made the first rhythmic sounds that resembled what we know today as music. But researchers do know it happened thousands of years ago. The earliest civilization throughout Africa, Europe, and Asia had music. Nice. A lot of it, like what I'm reading on here is like hymns and like rituals and stuff. But obviously with it being so old, I guess, then we won't have the answer. So I think it is like rituals and stuff. I think I was right, but who knows? The first evidence that we human produced musical instruments date was as early as 40,000 years ago. We have found bone flutes in the caves of Chauvet. There you go. So the the people in the caves were just sat there thinking, you know what will be banter? Let's make a whistle out of this bone. And started blowing down a bone. We do that nowadays. Sorry. But there you go, yeah. So I think singing was first kind of started ages ago, 40,000 years ago, and it was like rituals and stuff. You know, what I find crazy is how it has progressed to what it is now. Like, we have like rap, we have like opera, we have pop, and now it's just normal to us, and we listen to it every day. Literally every single day we just listen to somebody moving the voice up and down. It's crazy, isn't it? It's a crazy world that we live in. We just think, yep, let's listen to Ariana Grande break free, and she's just moving her voice up and down really well. That's how people should introduce themselves as singers now. I know how to move my voice up and down really well, actually. So deal with it. So yeah, that's the first one. Hope you've learned something new there. Next one. Getting a dance routine right. Right. Again, I think dancing started in the caveman days. I want to say, again, rituals and stuff. But what I would love to know is who decided, yep, right, you've got to get these steps perfectly right, like the cha-cha slide. You can't go left, you've got to go right first. Like, who thought, yeah, that's what we're going to do? So let's have a look. Let's see what Google says, shall we? Who invented the first dance routine, we'll say, because I feel like dancing's been around since kind of like singing, isn't it? Okay, here we go. We've got an answer. This is fun, isn't it? I'm learning something new. I didn't know any of this. It's just things that I think about in bed. Right. The first written records of dance date back from 4,000 years to the ancient Egyptians. Dance was a crucial element in festivals for their gods. The ancient Egyptians also brought skilled dancers from Central Africa to Egypt to provide entertainment. So that's where the entertainment sides come from. Is the Egyptians. They like to watch people move. And then another one says cave paintings in India dating back to 8,000 BC have dances in religious nature. Let's go to who created choreography. Because choreography is where you like make up a full-on dance routine and then you have to do it, which I find really funny. Like the idea of people, I mean, I used to love dancing, like before I hurt my leg, I used to be a dancer. But now, like, when you think about it in more depth, it's like, why do we like watching people moving like their arms and legs and skipping around? And we're like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's just funny. I just find it funny. Okay, so who started choreography? In the late 18th century, Jean Georges Novara and Gasparo Angiolini, very, very cool names, introduced choreography that combined expressive mime and dance steps to produce the dramatic ballet. Oh, ballet was first. This was further developed in 19th century romantic ballets by Marius Petipa, Jules Perret and Auguste Bonneville. Oh, Bonneville! That's kind of entertainment, isn't it? I guess we just started in the caves again with the little bone flutes. And we were like, yeah, this beat's sick. And then we just decided to pop out a twerk and that. Maybe I wonder if they were twerking in the caves. Just sitting there like, yeah, boy. Yeah, girl. Let's do some of this with the bone flute. Like banging on the walls and that. God, I bet they had a well good time being cave women and men. I would love to go back just to see kind of what they did and how they spoke. Because they're not going to be like, wagwan, Kate. They're not going to be like that, are they? They're going to be like, hello. Well, hello. I have another fact for you. The word hello. So the word hello, sorry, gone off on a tangent. Still waiting for my ADHD diagnosis. Can you tell? What was it about? Oh, the word hello. So I went to Budapest not long ago, and they said that the first time that somebody came up with hello meant, can you hear me, right? When the telephone was invented, somebody would pick it up and go, hello, which meant, can you hear me? Which evolved into the word hello, which means obviously hello and greeting. So like you're greeting someone, but it actually means, can you hear me? How crazy is that? But yeah, I learned that in Budapest. But yeah, it's interesting to think about how cavemen and people would talk. This podcast has gone on a right tangent, but it's all right. We're here for the journey. Yeah, it would be interesting to know how they spoke or how they communicated. Did they sing? Did they dance? Maybe they were like two-step into each other as a mate call. It's two-step with the flute. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Dance was invented as a ritual thing, and so was singing. Interesting. I didn't know that. Let's have a look at this one. Who tried chili peppers for the first time and didn't warn the rest? That is so true. That is so true. Who picked a chili, tasted it, burnt off the mouth, had the runs for a week and thought, yep, that's great. I'm going to give everybody else it. I'm going to Google it right now and we're going to find out together. Let's put in when were chilies discovered. If anybody looks at my history on here, they'll be like, what have you been doing? Just my podcast. We're chatting with my friends here. The first evidence of its existence of a chili dates back to 8000 BC. At this time, the rest of the world did not know about chili, but everything changed in 15th century when Christopher Columbus discovered America and then started to spread it around. So there you go. Christopher Columbus sat there and thought, yep, this red hot thing, everybody's going to enjoy it. I'm going to make everybody have the shits for weeks. And yeah, ha. I bet he gave it to like an enemy to begin with to make the mouth burn off, because I'm not going to lie, there was one time I had a chili and it was like a red one and it was one of them really small ones, you know, the really, really spicy ones. I had that and I had to, like, my ears literally, you know, like a cartoon, like when it's like burning out of your ears, like smoke coming out of your ears. It was literally like that, like my whole esophagus and my ears were like on fire. And I cried. I was sat with my dad at the time. We were in a restaurant and I was crying and I was like, oh my God, I'm eating it. So like, it's so hot. And he had to get me, the waiter had to get me milk. I was probably very dramatic, but that's all I can imagine Christopher Columbus doing. Maybe he gave it to his child just for banter and thought, yeah, you can have this chili. Character building, it is. So yeah, word of advice for you. Don't just eat one of them tiny little, it's like tiny little red chilies, because they are boiling hot. Boiling. Literally nearly killed me. I nearly snuffed it that evening. I didn't. We're still here, but we're good. So yeah, Christopher Columbus, thanks for that, mate. I hope you're proud of yourself, because the rest of us, I do like a bit. Don't get me wrong, like a bit of spice, but not to the point where my arsehole's imploded. Anyway, next one. I'm loving this. We're finding so much out. Preparing a sleep ritual when other animals just lay down and go to sleep. True. Us humans are weird species. We're like, we're going to get this moisturiser. We're going to get this cream. We're going to get this face mask and we're going to put it on. We're going to have a bath. I'm going to spray on the sheets lavender and all that. Why? Also, did you know that we are actually... Oh, caught it. Did you know that we are the only mammals or animals or things that don't sleep when they're tired? Like, we force ourselves to stay awake. So you know when you're like at work in the middle of the day and you get really, really tired and you want to go to sleep. Other animals would just sleep, like, as you can tell from like cats and dogs. But we obviously force ourselves to stay awake. But we should actually be listening to our bodies and sleeping. Maybe we should say that. I'll take that to HR. Excuse me, we're meant to be sleeping. We're animals. We're not humans. We are humans, but we're still animals. We should be sleeping whenever we want to. Let's have a look. Oh, anyway. Who created sleep rituals? And why? Let's put, because I want to know why. I want to know why, please. Now, it's not necessarily saying why or who created the first one, but I can tell you the importance of a bedtime routine in according to professionals, if you would like to hear it. Let's hear it. So, somebody called Kerry, she's a co-founder of a sleep ritual place. Hi, Kerry. She said, a bedtime routine will look a lot different with each age, but the consistency of a routine helps the infant or child to establish lifelong habits that will hopefully lead to quality sleep. Good. Ooh, so it comes from when you're a baby then. Oh, I have a theory. You know when you're a baby and then like you rocked to sleep or like you put into a blanket or one of them smuggle things and you start off doing that from a child. Maybe it's habit. Maybe that's what it was. And then maybe obviously like from a mother's instinct we become more caring and like we want to keep the baby warm because we don't want it to be cold. So maybe that's where it's come from. Maybe. So yeah, it starts from young age apparently. Oh, here we go. It is a concept that emerged from 1800s and 1900s. So it's not that old, sleep rituals. Maybe we did just curl up on a rock next to a lake when we wanted to before the 1800s. People in 1799 all have been like on some grass spread out. And people might think, oh, they're dead. Maybe that's why it started, because there was no sleep rituals or beds are out. Maybe people were like, too many people are getting death scares because they go outside and think someone's dead when actually they're just asleep because they're tired. I don't know. So yeah, it started in 1800s and 1900s, and apparently it became popular for a range of reasons. And the reasons being that it just helps you sleep. And there you go. Outstanding source of knowledge there for you. Okay, next one. Who tried cow milk first and who pulled the first udder? Oh my god, yeah. Because we don't do it to anything else, really. I know we can have goat's milk and, like, emu milk, can't we? I don't know. But we don't go around and think, oh, let's have giraffe milk, do we? Like, why a cow? Is it because the udders are on shore? And what I want to know is who was the first person to think I'm going to suck on that? Who was the first person to look at that and thinks, I'm going to give that a suck? That's another thing as well. Sex. Weird. I don't know why I'm thinking it. You get the drift. The similarities in the udder and the phallus. Yeah, who decided to do that and then to drink milk, and then the whole world just followed? Because we still drink milk. I have milk in my coffee, but that's come from a cow. That has literally come from a cow. I'm going to look now. Who pulled the first udder? Right, here we go. A cow probably wasn't the first animal milked. If we look at origin cultures in Asia and Africa, we see camels, goats, and even horses milked. Ooh, there's not much on here, which is it's a bit worrying. Somebody's keeping it secret as to how they tried it. Oh, here we go. Through analysing degrading fats on unearthed pot shards, whatever they are, scientists have discovered that Neolithic farmers in Britain, of course they were British, may have been among the first to begin milking cattle for human consumption. The dairying activities of these European farmers may have begun as early as 6,000 years ago. So there you go, British people looked at cows and sucked it. Nah, I doubt they sucked it, but they definitely toggled. They give it a tug. They give another a good tug. Which explains a lot about Brits, I think. I'm a Brit. And that's probably something I would try. If I was back in the day, I would definitely have tried milking a cow. I'd have just been, yeah, just for bants, I think. Oh no, it's weird, isn't it? I don't know. I'm out on myself here. Would I have milked a cow? Maybe as a child. Maybe. Maybe as a child I would have gone over and been like, what's this? And then tugged on it, and then somebody was like, oh, but then that was just white stuff. I just find it weird. I drink it, don't get me wrong, but it is weird, isn't it? It is weird how it's come about and the whole world's followed. Very, very, very weird. But yeah, there you go. British people found milk first. Get in Britain. Well done. Well done, darling. Speed walking. Speed walking's so funny. I've always found it funny. How people walk so fast and the bums stick out and the legs go. I find it hilarious, me. Yeah, who created that? Let's have a look. Because it's a sport now, isn't it? It's a sport. You see Darren from down the road just speed walking past your house and you're like, oh, there he is, speed walking. And it's just normal with their arms and that. Like, speed walking developed as one of the original track and field events of the first meeting of the English Amateur Athletics Association in 1880. There you go, 1880. That was after running was invented in 1879, wasn't it? I think that's what I said before. So a year later, they were like, let's slow this down a bit and start speed walking. Let's do a bit of both in the middle. We'll get a medium. Long distance competitive walking events called pedestrianism. Pedestrianism is because the pedestrians are just walking around. It was created in 1880 after they discovered running. And then they were like, let's slow this down a bit, mate. Let's slow this down and just get a speed walk on rather than a walk. Is it a run? Is it a walk? No, it's a speed walk. Learning all sorts here. I hope I'm not alone in these being like things that pop into my mind. I mean, I'm not, because these are from you guys. I just, I think about all of these all the time. Like, stuff like this just pops into my mind. But I'm loving these ones. These are really good. Nightclubs. I've always found nightclubs weird. I enjoy them. But the fact that we all go to collectively dance around a room with music and random strangers all pushed together, I find really, really weird. Like, we're all so close and we're just like dancing around. I just find that odd. But something that popped into my mind the other day was, imagine, like, you know how close people get on the tubes in London, like sardines? Imagine if day to day people stood that close in public, like in the street. Like, if somebody came and stood that close to you in the street, you would be concerned. But it's normal in a tube station or a club. It's so weird. Let's find out, when were clubs invented and why? The first nightclub appeared in New York City in the 1840s and 1850s. They liked vaudeville, live music and dance, commercial sex, as you do, and gambling cards. Oh, okay, so it kind of evolved. It's evolved. So New York City comes up with clubs, and Britain comes up with tugging on a cow's udder. It explains a lot. Evolution of life. It's a crazy thing. Horse riding. Like, who thought it was safe and was like, yeah, I'll try that? Why do we ride horses? Why don't we ride, I don't know, what's similar? Sheep. Why don't we ride sheep? Should we just leave it at that? It's gonna be cowboys. Ain't you know about, yeah. So they tried to catch stuff and then they were like, yeah, we're gonna get this horse because it's fast. Hunter-gatherers, so they just jumped on it because they're like, yeah, they're fast, and then they just winged it and then hoped for the best, and now it's become a sport. It's crazy how things start, isn't it? I'm fascinated by all of this. Yeah, don't know why we don't ride sheep. I'd vouch for that. Ride sheep. Children ride sheep. Adults ride rhinoceroses. I'm talking a load of rubbish. And the last one. We've got the last one. Oh, there's two on here. It's the last two. Sex and makeup. Makeup, we'll start with that, shall we? We'll end on sex. We'll end on sex, shall we? Yeah, makeup's weird. I find that strange. Like, I've got it on right now, but we just paint our faces every day. Literally paint it. And it's considered normal. It's not normal for men to wear makeup. No, apparently. It's not normal, but it should be. Everybody should be able to wear makeup if they want to, because it shouldn't be gender, like, specific to one gender. Makeup's for everyone. If you've got a spot, cover it up. Why not? Oh, here we go. 6000 BC, apparently. That's when makeup was created again by the Egyptians. They were smart fuckers, weren't they? The Egyptians. We love it. We love to see it. They came up with dancing and all sorts. They were having a whale of time in ancient Egypt. They created it as they believed makeup was next to godliness and that it appealed to gods. Both men and women, there you go, see, of all social classes wore makeup. So they wore it because they thought, yeah, it makes me look a bit better and I'll go to heaven, or wherever they thought that they went in ancient Egypt. So there you go. That's what makeup was created by, ancient Egypt. Why has this become history? It's like, I'm telling you why people decided things are what they are. Sex, yeah, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Sex is weird. It's weird. Obviously, it's instinct, isn't it? It's instinct that we have to procreate and create. So I guess the first people to have sex just kind of watched maybe like apes do it and then they tried it. But then all of the other stuff that comes with it, I find very peculiar, kind of similar to that of sucking on an udder. Why would you suck on that udder? And who came up with that idea first? Cheeky. You've got Bev from 1600s being like, put my mouth around that. I don't know. It's a weird, weird concept. It's just like you've got an extra limb that you just bang into someone. But it is, isn't it? It is. If you really think about it in depth, it's weird. It's very weird. Kissing, weird. Hugging. I love them all. I love them all. Don't get me wrong, I do. But very, very, very odd. It's a very odd concept. Like a hug is just like, I'm going to bring you in closer and we're going to touch bodies. I find it so weird. Very, very odd. But we do it. Every human does it. And another thing, like why is talking about sex or like anything like that taboo? Because every single person in this world is going to do it or has done it. So like, why can't we talk about it? I find that so odd. But yeah, it is weird. It's a weird concept. It's a very strange one. Yeah, I find it so weird. Kissing, touching tongues, all weird concepts. But it's all normal, apparently, to us as humans now. But yeah, there you go. We've learnt some new stuff today. I've enjoyed that one. I liked that one. I liked Googling because I always have these thoughts but never think to actually look them up. I just try and work it out for myself. So thank you for writing them in. They've been entertaining for me, to say the least. So yeah, if you're enjoying this podcast, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on Spotify, please make sure to rate it 5 stars if you think it's 5 stars. Hopefully you do. And yeah, give me a cheeky follow. But this has been the Bedtime Chronicles. Until next time, have a good evening. Bye.